Okay, good evening and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Table Enabled. I am so happy and so excited to say we've reached this monumentous occasion. Simon Reish, 200 Simonim in Orach Chaim. It's quite amazing because every Simon, even though there are some today that only has two halachas, there are some which, we've had a Simon with 50 something halachas or 45 halachas. That means in these 200 Simonim, I would say there's at least uh, more than 1,500, 2,000 different halachas that we've encountered in not so long a period. Really, five halachas a week. So really, it's been 40 weeks. 40 weeks we're completing right now of Shulchan Aruch Yomi. It's still in the beginning of the program because we're not even halfway through Aruch Chaim, and then there's three other halachim in Shulchan Aruch. So if you haven't started now, or you're just hearing this share for the first time, you're going to want to jump aboard because you can still get in most, not only Orach Chaim, which are more practical laws, but also Even Ezer, Choshen Mishpat, and Yoredeya, and be proficient. And here, at least to hear a shir, even if you've never learned um, even the Gemaras, right? I think out of all the shirim I give, I think this is the most important shir for a person to hear, whatever level you are in Judaism or knowledge in Judaism. This is the most important. This is halacha lamaisa. This is the final word, basically, that Judaism has to say about all realms in the world. All realms that are applicable to halacha. And that's what the Shulchan Aruch gives you. When I discuss that, and I give you not only the regular share, which is a classical interpretation of what the Shulchan Aruch and the Poskim are saying, but I also give you an Ian share, where I give you an underlying theme of what's going on in the halachas, sourced from the Gemara usually, and I tell you maybe even my own opinion. So you have you have an opposing view, alternative view sometimes to be able. Sometimes you don't hear an alternative opinion about something. You don't have what to understand the actual halacha itself. Sometimes you need the other side in an argument. If you only have one side of an argument, you can't see an idea fully until you have the other side of the argument. Let's start. Simon Reish, three people ate together. They ate bread together. Two people want to leave, and they can say, "Hey, buddy, let's go. We're doing zimun now." And whether he answers or not, you just start saying, and he says, only one person's answering, as long as he's there, it's okay. And the reason is because, presumably the reason is because Shomei Kaona, he's there, he hears, and it's not up to him to decide not to be part of it. Now, the Mishnah Berurah says if he hears Shomei Kaona, what if he hears and he didn't want to be Yotzei? Is he Yotzei or not? And is the Zeman effective? I'll talk about that in to lean on. Presumably, the Shulchan Aruch is talking about where he has Stam Das, or he plans to be Motzei Yotzei, even though he's quiet. What if he has intention not to be Yotzei? Shomei only works when I have Kavanah to hear. How does that work? Aval Shnaim Ein Chayav Lahafsik Le'echad. However, if three people are eating together, one person decides, "Hey, I want to get out of here," right? Two people have a right to say, "No, we don't want to stop to do zimun now. It's not so long. We'll see in halacha base to do zimun, but they have the right to do that." There's no chiyav of zimun, and then two people want to leave. If one person starts saying "Nevarich shachalnu mishalo," right? Lo asa klum. It's ineffective completely. Now, if we're assuming, like we said before, it's shomei kaona, so he does it all korachal. He said "Nevarich shachalnu mishalo," right? Why don't we say shomei kaona over there? Right? If you say Shomei Kaona in the first part, so here's Shomei Kaona also. What's the difference between one person or two people? I'll explain the difference to the lean on. V'im lo ratza lahafsik, afu in rasha levarech v'latzis l'shuk. If these two people didn't want to stop, he also can't just say, "Okay, I can't do zimun. Let me just leave." And bench and leave. Once they ate together, they started their meal together, right? According to my explanation, they were part in the same berachas hamotzi. He was motzi them. One person was motzi them. And Berachas Hamotzi, they started together. He can't just leave. You can't bench without zimun. You have to wait there. for 2 years until they allow you to be out of jail and to do zimun with you. They have this right. Beis, Eino Sarach Lahafsik, Ella Ajiyom Baruch Shachal Mishalo. Right, when you do a zimun, how long, right? Well, this happens a lot to me when I'm at Shabbos meals. One person has to leave earlier. We have a guy at our Shabbos meal sometimes who has a chabrusa in the middle of the meal, Friday nights. We start at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. He's like, we didn't even start the chicken yet. He's like, all right, I gotta go. Gotta do a zima. Gotta have a chabrusa. A married guy has a chabrusa at 8 o'clock on a Friday night. A married guy. Gotta marry. He's his wife in the middle of the Shabbos meal to have a chabrusa. Are you kidding me? All right. He's not a regular person. Whatever. Anyway, so so how long do you have to? So let's say two people decide they want to end the meal. I know they force the third person to end with them. The third person doesn't want to bench now; he wants to continue eating. So how long does he have to remain silent for? According to the Shulchan Aruch, right? It's technically what zimun is. You just said Baruch Shachal Mishlo, and then he gets to eat. According to the Shulchan Aruch, Hagah, which is the opinion of Nachman and the Rif and the Rambam. The Ramah brings a different opinion. This is how we're knowing that when you're listening to someone, you have to listen till the end of the first bracha. Okay, no, you answer Amen. Some people even say he has to say it out loud. This person who's just stopping in order to answer with other people, he plans on eating. And even if he doesn't actually end up eating it in the end, he still has to repeat Birkas Hazan because Birkas Hazan is part of Birkas Hamazon. Birkas Hazan is not really part of Zimun. According to the Ramah, it seems to be according to the Ramah that the first bracha is not only part of benching, but it's also part of Zimun also. It's hard to understand the Ramah is saying, like I said before, if you understand Zimun to be part of benching, it's just the same idea. It's, thanking Hashem, just like benching is thanking Hashem. It's just Zimun is extended part of benching. You do with more people. So then I understand that the first bracha, which is the most important bracha, Birkas Hamazon, can be part of Zimun. But if you say, like I say, that Zimun is to prepare yourself for Birkas Hamazon, right, because you're in a state of levity with three people, to make yourselves more serious for benching to Hashem. So obviously, Birkas Hamazon, even the first bracha, has nothing to do with Zimun at all. So technically, it would seem to me that the halacha should be at the Shulchan Aruch, that you don't have to listen to till the end of, even though the minhag is do like the Ramah, for the Mezamein to say until he says Zanas Hakol, and even some opinions say he's supposed to say it out loud so everyone can hear him. Technically, I think the halacha and the minhag, because even though the halacha and some poskim say he's supposed to say it out loud so everyone can hear him, nonetheless, the practical application of halacha, most people who are leading the zimun don't say it out loud. And if you're not saying it out loud, you can't be yotze with his zimun. So obviously, it seems to be the minhag is to be like the Shulchan Aruch, and even though technically you're supposed to listen to Azan, really you can start eating already after Baruch Shachal Mishlo to Chayinu. That's what it seems to me. Stay tuned for Ian Talina when I talk about Halacha Aleph, about one person stopping for two. What if he doesn't have in mind to be Yotze Shemek on it? And why, when one person wants to stop and two people don't want to stop, if you can rely on Shemek on, and why can't you rely on Shemek on in that situation? Ian Talina coming up next.